Good morning. Welcome to the brightest place on earth. God damn, it's really bright in here. Good morning, everybody. I think that I've unleashed. I cannot stop blowing my nose. It just is like, it just won't stop. Good morning. How are you? It's got to be like spring or something, right? It's just like pouring out of me. Where does it come from? Good morning, everybody. I hope you're doing well. Dude, look, check this out, Viata. You'll be excited like I am. So, I've had that fucking chunk stuck in my bong. There's literally in the tube right there was a chunk stuck to the bottom for the past like week. I got it. I finally got it out. She's so spotless now. I gotta set up the new bong. I've been waiting till I'm like not sick because it seems like a fun thing to do when I don't think I'm sick anymore though. I think this is just the world is allergies right now or something. I don't know. My nose is going crazy. Disgusting, but I got it. I know. And it was really annoying because it would catch anything that sucked through and block it right there. Fuck. Very annoying. And I don't know why it was stuck, but I'd done I'd done a Grandmaster smoke soak on it multiple times. And I finally was like, you know what? I just gotta do the alcohol salt. And that's what got it. Alcohol and salt, just letting it sit in a windowsill all night long with alcohol and salt. Finally got that fucking little, it was the tiniest, like little black nug, but it was just enough to block that fucking is it the carb? I don't know. The through tube. Whatever the fuck. Good morning, Dramonic. How are you? Good morning, Najiel. Thank you for subbing the class, keeping the classy alive, and giving any swings for 21 months. Holy shit, I appreciate you. Oh my god, have you ever, you know what? I wish I could show you that. Have you ever like looked at the bottom of your bong? Is that calcium? Like it's like white. It's like part of the glass on the bottom now. I've looked at that too and I'm like, it's not dirty. Like I've done the best you can possibly clean this thing. It's got to be calcium or something. Cuz I don't know, it's nothing. I mean, it's barely anything. It's just like it almost looks like water stains in the bong on the base. And I've looked at that. Yes, like this. Yeah, this shit. I mean, that's burnt glass, I think. I'm convinced. There's no getting that off. I mean, overnight soak with alcohol and salt and nothing. That just is there. Yeah. And it's the same. It's like these little white speckles that are along the base of it on the inside, and I'm pretty sure it's just calcium. Yep, that's got to be it, right? Okay. I'm the same. I was pretty positive that's the same because I've even taken like a fucking Q-tip to it. I've gone in with the what are they called? Pipe cleaners. It just doesn't come off. Like it's part of it almost. It feels like if I try to get it off, it's gonna compromise the glass. If that makes sense. I don't know. It's weird, but it doesn't like it hinder the bong at all. Like that's fine. That's just part of it. My shit's been odd today. So yesterday tore my whole PC apart, did the heat sink thing and everything, but I haven't had a chance. I didn't have time to like do a fresh install or clean it out or do Discord or anything on it yet. So I'm still a little nervous and it does still smell like burning. I chipped a piece off with a bottle brush. Yep. Yep. I'm so scared I'm gonna do that. I'm scared I'm gonna chip it because that shit doesn't come off. Nuh-uh, your keef got to the point of my keef? Oh my god, I haven't checked my keef catch in forever. It's shameful. Does that mean we have to keef today? No! I got a staph infection in my nose. Yes, the one I've been complaining about. My nose is running 24/7 and my nostrils so inflamed my nose isn't draining properly. I have mupirocin for it, but it isn't working yet. Allergies, dude. So there's this weird statistic. How the vast majority, if not almost all nurses and medical staff have staph. Like we have MRSA, we have like a MRSA infection. If you guys don't know what MRSA is, it's methicillin resistant Staphylococcus aureus. It's basically a horrible infection we created in the hospital by overuse of antibiotics. But there's this crazy statistic that if you went through a hospital and swabbed every single nurse's nose, chances are most of us would have it. It's just it doesn't inflame unless you're in a moment of immunosuppressed whatever health. My mom and I both have it, and it just like if I get a cut in my nose, it inflames. I gotta put a little ointment up there, and it's fine. But it's with you forever, and it's just like it's kind of part. It's like part and parcel of being a medical worker. It's kind of something that's probably you're gonna have. It's gross to even say, but it's real. Good morning, Solipsis. How are you? Oh, it's not in a jar. The one it oh my god. Yep, it's really, really common. MRSA is really, really dangerous. So, Staphylococcus aureus, Staph A, is what causes horrible infections all over. Like, you can get I'm sure you guys have heard of a staph infection where people get a line from a wound. Like, they'll get, like, an actual dark line that will travel up their arm or something. That's the infection traveling to their heart via a vessel. It's really scary. Staph infections can affect all sorts of things. MRSA, methicillin-resistant staph infection, means nothing can hit it. We've basically like, I'm sure you guys have seen, like, hand sanitizer bottles or anything that says, "Kills 99.9% of all household bacteria." And we were all like, "Yay." What happened was that 1.1% of bacteria that survived went on to fuck. And so now we've created essentially a whole slew of bacterias that we don't have any defenses against because we overused antibiotics, which is why I try to encourage you guys, like, don't just take a Z-Pack every time you get a sniffle. Like, yeah, if you've been sick for 3 months and you can't function, please go see a doctor, obviously. But if you get like, don't, like, a Z-Pack, i.e. some antibiotics, is never the quick fix for anything. And oftentimes it can do more damage than it can good. Because if you have a viral infection, for instance, that ain't doing shit. Viruses aren't alive. Therefore, an antibiotic, an anti-life, is not going to do anything to something that's not alive. So you're just like, you guys know antibiotics, they kill everything good in your body. Like, I'm always telling you guys, if you're on antibiotics, make sure to take some sort of probiotic or eat a yogurt or eat a couple pickles a day or something like that, because antibiotics are going to kill everything, not just a bacteria that's bad. It's going to kill everything, which means all the natural bacteria that keeps your no-nos healthy. A lot of people that get on antibiotics will get yeast infections, thrush, etc. It's wild. My best friend's son has had MRSA several times in the perennial. Parent, oh, that is not nice. Oh my god, I listened to such a scary fucking. I mean, scary to me. Eye stuff really freaks me out. Stuff that has to do with eyes. Ugh. But I listened to a medical story yesterday. This is pretty crazy. So, little girl starts getting migraines and pain in one of her eyes and starts losing eyesight in one of her eyes. So she ends up going to doctors, blah, blah, blah. Fast forward, they end up going into surgery, taking her eye out of her skull while it's still connected to the nerve. The back of her eyeball had a black, like, the way they described it was like cardboard, like a hard black, like, coating on it that they had to chip off. Fucking gnarly. No shit, Pat. It turned out to be, uh, not histoplasmosis. It came from dog poop. Like, literally, this girl didn't even have a dog, and they're like, this is something that happens when people get dog poop gets on their hands and then comes in contact with their eyes or something. It ended up like there's a stray dog at a park she goes to once a week that she pet, and she ended up getting this shit in her eye. And the weird black cardboard coating, whatever that was on the back of her eyeball, was actually her body trying to protect her from the bacteria. She ended up getting her eye back. Her eye was fine. She didn't get all of her eyesight back. She was totally fine. Like, she went on to live a full life and everything, but, like, wash your hands. I just don't know how often I need to say wash your fucking hands. Yuck. Big yuck. I know. Yeah. Go get a lottery ticket. I had cellulitis on my toes. Had to take some awful powerful antibiotics that my body started to reject towards the end. It was awful. Lucky. Yep. That shit is so gnarly, dude. I'm so sorry you had that. We were just talking about that. Good morning, Janelle. But we were talking about, someone was asking me the other day, like, what were we? Oh, we were talking about the nuts rotting off, as usual. And I was teaching people. So if you ever, this is really good information. And it's so easy. But say you have a cut on your hand like that gray line. Say that's your cut, and it starts to get pink. Take a Sharpie and outline the pink around your cut. Seriously. And then you watch it. We do this in the hospital all the time. Use a Sharpie so it doesn't come off. And we watch it. And if the pink starts to go outside of that line, time to go to the hospital, because chances are it could be cellulitis, which then can turn into gangrene, Fournier's gangrene, i.e. necrotizing fasciitis. But seriously, I do it all the time. Anytime you get a cut or something, especially somewhere like your hands or anywhere that's going to be out and exposed and moving all the time, it's smart to do that because anybody can get an infection, especially if the cut's deep. It's smart to do. Right, so, dude, it's just crazy. Like, fuck, wash your hands. It's so easy to, I don't know. You guys know. I mean, it's crazy. I don't remember the exact statistics, but the statistics that come out of like ERs and stuff like that as to like the majority of people actually have shit under their fingernails at all times. Like poop, human fecal matter under their fingernails. And then they're just like itching their eyes and picking their teeth and touching other people and you're just like, "Oh, get a nail brush." Good morning, Meadow. Good morning, Beatree. How are you, love? I wasn't awake. I'm not awake enough. This like mucus shit makes me feel so like yesterday, the first until maybe 3 p.m., I was just walking around in this weird like fucking like weird haze. Like I couldn't really do anything. And then I went and took a shower and I mean, it's so attractive of me. Like I'm here to fucking be attractive. I hands-free blew the most epic snot rocket out of my nose that was just like green. It's still in there. Like, it's still I just wanna get rid of this fucking infection, man. But once I got it out, it was like my brain woke up. It was like a plug, seriously, like a brain plug. I was like, "Oh my god, I'm here now." But it took all day. Good morning, Reasonable. How are you? I feel like I probably wash my hands too much. Honestly, there's really I mean, until like, if you're injuring your hands via the hand washing, then it's too much. That's about it. Like, there's ways to I mean, you work in a hospital environment, so you're probably fuck, the gel foam shit, that's just ugh. Phones, I mean, Dramatic, no shit, they've been gross forever. I've told this story so many times, but it's one of the most epic things I've ever witnessed in my life. My first it was Micro 101 or Micro 121 or whatever the fuck the series was, microbiology. First day of class, our teacher wanted to get us excited about microbiology, so she says, "Go and swab." I think it was like, we had to do our hand pre-washing, like at the moment we walked into class, swab your hand, put it in an agar tray, and then you got to swab 3 things of your choice and grow it in an agar tray, which is exciting because like everybody was like, "Ooh, I'm gonna swab like the bathroom floor and the bathroom handle, and I'm gonna swab my car keys." One girl in our class swabbed her phone case, and her phone case just happened to be leather, which added to it obviously because it's like porous. Like leather is skin, so it's porous, so it was absorbing all the oils and shit from her face. But she just happened to be this type of person who wore a ton of makeup. Like you could like like spackle it off. And no shade. Again, this is why I'm always telling you guys to throw your fucking makeup out after 3 months. Period. End of story. So she swabbed her phone case, which was literally like tan from all her face makeup being like pushed into it for however long she had it. And she augured it. And so the incubation little fridges we use, they're like, I want to say they're probably like 2 by a foot and a half, and there's 2 shelves in there. I don't remember how many trays they can fit, but there we had 2 incubators that could fill everybody's trays. Her petri dish with the swab from her phone grew a fungus, a face fungus that took over the entire incubator. Not one person in that incubator knew what they swabbed because hers grew this slimy, pink, flesh looking fungus over the entire inside of the incubator overnight. Yuck. And that it was literally because what happens is with makeup, this is why they make them clear nowadays. It's a little bit better. But essentially, you take something like this that's a fluid, you put it on your face, and inevitably, whatever's on your face is going to get on this little dough foot, is what they call that. And then you're shoving it in there with oxygen into this nice little anaerobic environment where it's going to breed and proliferate. And then tomorrow, you're going to do it again. And then the next day, you're going to do it again. In 3 months, this needs to be trash, regardless of whether or not it's empty. Period. Liquids need to go to the garbage. Like, they're just don't touch your face with them. Really, that's my best piece of advice. Like, there's so much stupid viral shit on TikTok and stuff where people like drip stuff directly onto their face from the bottle, like they're touching their face with the stuff because it's aesthetically cute to look at. It is fucking foul. They have mold on their body. Like they're scrubbing it fucking fungus into their body. I don't even know what to say. It's so like we're disgusting and we're just exacerbating it, you know? Ugh. I keep bottles of alcohol strategically placed around my home for in between hand washes. I'm constantly clearing. Me too. You know what I do? I got this little spray bottle from somewhere ages ago, like some like Walgreens or something, but it's got 90% isopropyl, and I seriously do this under my fingernails a couple times a day. It's an obsession, but I just cannot. I know what's under there now. You know, you're underneath your fingernail is just like that container. It's a dark, oxygen-rich environment where poop and bacteria can get shoved up into and just live and proliferate. It's disgusting. Wash your piss mittens. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, seriously, Viata, it's like I've shown you, I've done an example of how to wash your hands. I feel like you guys know how to wash your hands. There's no way anyone can hang out my channel for any extended period of time and feel good about themselves without washing their hands once in a while. I preach it way too fucking much. But the amount of times I've seen people do this and rinse. What about the top? No shit. The amount, I mean, what about the top? What the fuck? I don't know. I don't know. It didn't take medical school to learn how to wash my fucking hands. No, ghetto, I've been doing that tons. I don't take a shower 3 times a day because my hair is so fucking thick, it would be a nightmare, but I seriously just splash hot water in my face and, like, into the sink this time of year because it's just nonstop. It just won't stop coming out of me. It's so gross. I wanna scrub my brain. Good luck. I wanna stop washing my hands, but the blood of the innocent souls I vanquished just won't come out. Dude, from the makeup look we did on Sunday, all day yesterday, I was tearing red out of my eyes, and no shit, Zach came up to me and he's like, "Babe, do you have, like, an eye infection?" No! Not yet. Mhm. Aren't they the best? 70, 90. I use 90 seriously because I also use it for, like, doing my nails, my gel nails, and the 90 works better, but 70, 90, either one. Seriously, it's like especially if you have fingernails. If your fingernails go beyond your fingertip, please clean them. Like, I keep fingernails because they're like a tool to use sewing. That's it. But you gotta clean them. Like, they're so fucking foul. It's just dirty. Yes, the video with the gloved hands and the ink. We've watched that so many times on stream. It's so good. Like, it really gives a good example of what the fuck's going on. And, like, the vast majority, I mean, we've talked about this, breaking those benzene rings. You gotta bust those B rings. I would go so far as to say all soaps in the world must be agitated to work. Period. They must be agitated. You got to break them. You can't just like dip your hands in soap and be clean. It's got to be agitated. It's just like the gel that we use in the hospital, any kind of hand sanitizer gel, if it's not soaking wet on your hands for at least 15 seconds, it has done nothing. So if you're sitting there putting like and then you do this and it's dry, you've done nothing but dry your hands out. You're just kind of hurting your skin. You've done nothing. Like, you've got to use enough that for 15 seconds your hands are wet with the shit while you're doing this and getting it under your fingernails. And if it starts to dry out, you didn't do enough. It's not doing anything. Like, that's how long it takes to activate it. But no one's really told this shit. We're just given soap. Shoes and cardboard. Oh, dude, the leather. Is it? Yeah. I know. Not even leather smell. It's like that fake fucking rubber smell. That, or then they wipe their hands. Oh. Dude, Pat, I don't know if you have this at your hospital, but I worked with I don't know if it's a certain personality type or whatever, but every hospital I worked at, there was usually a handful of people who insist on working with their long, beautiful hair down. Like their real hair. I've told you guys about the girls with the wigs that dragged on people, and that is just, any hair dragging on someone is disgusting, let's be honest. At least a wig you could take off and spray off. But like, what I would watch, I mean, I can picture these exact people. They run into a room to code someone, and they've got hair to their ass, their badges, everything in their face while they're like, and you're like, do you not have a rubber band? Like, and the thing is, gel, start doing this shit in a patient's room. Oh my God. What the fuck? Right? I don't get it. I don't understand it. Yeah, I've worked with the same. I just don't. I'm like, it's dirty. Like, what are I know you're wearing your hair down because you want to look pretty. Who are you looking pretty for? The only people that are going to hit on you in here are creeps. And dirty. Oh my God, dirty. What is getting in your hair? Like, hospitals are fucking filth, man. Yeah, you scrub them all the way around. I've done it for years, even before the plague. I mean, same. Same. But I guess going to school for it, you just get that. But I don't know. People look at that black shit under their fingernails and they don't think like, what is it? They just go on about their day, I guess. I know, Dramonic, same. Same. It's like it's a case of the more you know, the more you don't wanna know. Oh my god. But Viata, the soap from my head runs down my ass. Isn't that cleaning? Oh, so I've seen people in public bathrooms turn the faucet on and off just for looks. They think I'm not looking and they literally just go pop pop to make it make a sound and then leave. I'm like, you put in all the effort and not only that, you extra dirtied by touching the faucet handle and not wash. Like you just what? I know. Because you think about it, those handles are arguably one of the dirt like the faucet handle is maybe the dirtiest thing in the bathroom because everybody's touching it straight out of the toilet. So you just touched it. I, d- I don't have words. I don't know. We're dirty creatures, right? I mean, humans are fucking dirty, but we make things dirtier, I think. Like, people are dirty. Oh, yeah, I've seen a nurse try to flirt with a patient family and whatnot. It's I don't get it. It's so weird. I've seen it too, and I'm like, what's happening? But I'm sure you've seen the opposite, where I've had patients where the patient's literally in a coma and the family's sitting there trying to get me to marry their son who's in a coma. I've had that like, how old are you? Are you of marrying age? Are you single? Our son is single. I'm like, he's also on a ventilator. I don't understand what's happening right now. Is this a dating site? What's happening? That's happened to me. Or just getting your ass grabbed and shit like that. Like, the only people to be sexual in a hospital are fucking creeps. It's a dirty place. I've talked about that so many times, but like those Grey's Anatomy shows and shit where everybody's fucking in a hospital, the last place I want my ooey gooey genitals out is in that environment. Icky, icky, icky. You remember how we were talking about this? And how every time it comes out, it's introduced to oxygen and whatever's in the local environment, and then it's shoved into that dark, moist area, and then it comes out, and then it's shoved into that dark, moist area, and then it comes out, and then it's this is a penis and a vagina in a hospital. I'm telling you, it's the same thing. Please don't fuck in hospitals. It's fucking disgusting. Cursed knowledge. It's cursed. It is. Like, one of the worst things is walking around just in public on a daily basis. I can't help but, like, not I'm diagnosing people in my head via, like, I can see what's wrong with people a lot of the times, just how they move and how they act in their body, what they look like. Like, I can tell if you have congestive heart failure by the shape of your fingernails, for instance, and I can't stop. Like, instead of just being like, "Nice fingernails," I'm like, "Those look bulbous. How you breathing?" I'm cursed. I'm ruined. That's why I don't talk to people. Short nails are the best way to go. I mean, if you work in a hospital, I've never worked in a hospital that allows you to have nails past your fingertip ever. They no fake nail at all because I mean, imagine if you glue a false nail onto a real nail, if there's like air trapped in there or if anything from the hospital gets trapped under that fingernail, like God forbid. But yeah, I mean, every hospital I've ever worked in, you cannot have your nails past the edge of your fingertips for health reasons. Like if you came in with long nails, they'd pay for you to go get them removed. It's absolutely unsanitary. I've never worked in a hospital that lets you have long nails because they're dirty as fuck. I always use my elbow or I use the paper towel. Like, you know what, Pat? No shit. Half the RTs I worked with wore fake rings. I never did it. I couldn't bring myself to do it. I probably should have, but I'm not. It became a thing. Like literally, one girl came to work with like an Amazon cup of like fake platinum rings that looked really real and was like handing them out to everybody. And everybody, literally, there was a slew of young girl RTs that wore fake rings just to deter the creepy. It was wild. Fucking wild. It was, I mean, it worked. That was the crazy thing. It actually worked because they were asinine looking, like big rocks, big, like cubic zirconias or something on them. So they were very obvious, very shiny, and it worked. I couldn't do it. It felt weird, but I should have. It probably would have been smart. Right? Yada. It's so weird to me. I mean, I understand TV and like they have to, like, I don't know why, but they feel the need to make everything sexual known to man. Hospitals, I wouldn't. That being said, I do like I know of one person who allegedly had a few sexies in the hospital in like a defunct tower. Allegedly. One. And the shame was real. Ugh. Not enough weed in the world for that. Dude, clean keyboards though. I mean, they get it. Village, they get it. Your keyboards, your mice, anything your hands are on all day long is inevitably going to be full of like dead skin and stuff. It's I don't want to scare people because it's such an easy thing to take care of, like just cleaning your fingernails. You know, just like regularly, like I have little nail brushes. Like they're little scrub brushes and I have them in every sink in my house and I just use it to scrub under my fingernails real quick. It's such an easy thing to do that can prevent so much icky nasty. But like you guys know, when I worked at the hospital, I told you this, I would strip at my front door. I didn't even come in the house in my scrubs. My tennis shoes that I wore at work did not come into the house. Period. Because imagine the floors of a hospital. Like, I have dogs. I don't need my dogs licking my shoes and getting some fucking, like, gangrene or something like that. Please tell me all the things I wanna know. See, I'm that way. I wanna know. I don't wanna go around with shit under my fingernails. It's kinda like people that just let you be stupid. When did it become cool to be a dirty, poopy-nailed, stupid face? Surround yourself with people that are willing to be like, "Hey, there's poop under your fingernails and what you just said is wrong. Would you like to know the real thing so you don't sound like a fucking idiot all the time?"
It's all true. The boogeyman
Yep.
is real.
Oh, man, Kona. I have visceral memories of my piano teacher in high school. The shame. My sisters and I, we all got, like, you know, French tip, fat fucking those just French tip, those, the like, the thing of the early 2000s, the French tips. I don't know what you would call them. The big, thick, fake nails, French tips, like acrylics for prom. And I think a couple days later, I literally had piano lessons and I put my hands on the keys and she heard like the clack and immediately looked at me and goes, "Cut them off." And she went and got like toenail clippers and fucking clock, clock, all that acrylic off. And she was pissed. She was such my piano teacher, I fuck you not, was 4'11". She scared me more than anyone in my life. Cheers. I agree. Animals are better anyways. Cheers. You have to go, oh, to do work. Be clean, BDO. Be clean. Be clean. Yes, I did it yesterday, but I didn't. I mean, the process of it, I didn't have time to do literally anything else. So I haven't like redone my computer or anything. So I don't have Stream Deck or anything working yet. Knives! Thank you so much for some of the class, keeping the classy life and giving me swings. I fucking appreciate you. I fucking hate April Fool's Day, and I'm just gonna say thank you so much for no one trying to do any April Fool's shit in my channel or on anything that has to do with me. If you can't be funny any other day of the year, April Fool's Day ain't it. It's just mean. I hate April Fool's Day. It's just people making everybody's day harder than it should be. You know what I've noticed between like the creep factor between men and women in the hospital? Men are more likely to touch you, women are more likely to hunt down your social media and find you in very creepy ways. It's so like I've had patients who take a picture of their male nurse when he's not looking and do a Google image search to find him and then write his mother on Facebook. I don't know what's creepier. Yes, I think it's all just a big I forgot to take my vitamin D. Take your joy, everybody. The fucking titties when they were grand. I didn't. I kind of stay off the internet on April Fools because I fucking hate April Fool's Day. It's such. I mean, I don't know. I never find any of it funny. Like none of it just seems to be. It's either mean or it's like companies trying to come up with funny. Like look at us, make a funny. Like, what was it? One year McDonald's came out with, like, a cologne or something that was french fry scented, but it all became real. Like, no shit, a few years ago, Burt's Bees came out with, like, a April Fool's Day prank about ranch dressing flavored chapstick. It's in production. They're making ranch flavored dressing. They're making ranch flavored chapstick now. It's not funny. It's just, okay. My social anxiety around women makes a lot more sense now. I mean, everybody can be a creep. I truly think anybody can be a creep. Anybody. It's just different. Had a woman message my wife that I was flirting with her and cheating on her. Oh my God, they probably did. Did they do an image search on you? That Google image search is really creepy. They can find people I mean, it's very, very creepy. I mean, they could be doing creepy shit or they could be doing it nefariously. Like, I don't know. It's weird. It's weird. Don't take pictures of your nurse. I don't want to take pictures of you. Let's just not take pictures of each other. Oh, that's weird. I like April Fool's Day, but not because I like to prank people. It's because it's the one day where the global stupidity level drops significantly because everyone's all like, hey, wait, that's probably bullshit. No, you're not wrong. You're not wrong. It's like the one day a year people actually question what they see on the internet. Holy shit. It's the one day. That's kind of sad. I'm phone case shopping. Just found one that says whale sharks because size does matter. Dude, whale sharks are so cool. Like horrifying. I don't want to be anywhere near one, but really cool. Afternoon, Kinger. How are you? Corsair did cat themed products. Are they real? Didn't Corsair have like ears already? Didn't they have a set with cat ears or something? That sounds really familiar. I mean, they're just the jokes aren't funny. Like if you can pull something actually genuinely funny, okay. But everybody knows it's April 1st, so if you post anything that's even mildly questionable, people are going to think it's April Fool's immediately. But it's kind of like Zoe said, it's the one day a year people question what they see on the internet. That's kind of wild. I never thought of it that way, but you're not wrong. Like Santa Monica saying they're remaking, yeah, Gears of War 1. Yeah. My first name, I'm the only one on Facebook in my town with that name. So, yeah, I feel like I have a lot more. Have you ever, so you guys, do you have to wear name tags at your hospital? I'm pretty sure every hospital, we all have to wear like our badge. But one of the hospitals I worked at actually had our first and last name on it. And I didn't like that at all. I didn't understand. I don't know why any patient needs my last name. That's not going to I'm the only Katie here. You're not going to get confused by Katie's. Yeah, I put a sticker on it. No shit, one of my patients that was a kid gave me a sticker from their sticker book and I stuck it on the last name and forever I had this little like teddy bear on my cuz like that's unnecessary. That's asking for a creepo stalker, honestly. Like they can do it so easily already, like anybody can do it. Anybody can be a creep. Anybody. I don't care who you are. Anybody can. But Jesus, I never understood the point of that. Like the reason we all have a badge, honestly, is because that's normally how we swipe through doors and stuff. Our badges are normally that's what it is. But then it also usually has like a color-coded stripe on it that will say RN. I think blue usually RN, green RT, like or purple. Like it's all supposed to be for the patient, but the last I don't see no patient's gonna be like, can I get Katie Phrase my RT, please? No, no one's gonna do that. They're gonna be like, you mean Katie? I don't even think my nurses would know my last name. Like, I don't know theirs. None of that's useful. Even though my partner knows I don't like pranks, they usually prank me in small, simple ways, like the day before, or day after. See, that's small, cute, little things are precious. But like, I growing up with all older brothers and a very masculine, toxic masculine family, they would like, for instance, put saran wrap on the toilet before anybody woke up. But because it's 3 teenage boys, what do you think they do when they wake up first thing in the morning and they piss and it goes everywhere? You think they're going, oh man, I'm going to clean that? No. So then when my ass wakes up, I have to sit in a puddle of piss. No, none of it was okay. Fuck. April Fool's Day. Full name and a picture. I have a picture on mine, actually. Yeah, my badge is still it's hanging in my kitchen. There's a splatter of blood on it still. Yeah, it definitely had a picture on it, but last name, pointless. I really never understood the point of that. You don't need it at all. There's no point. I'm really the only one here. Katie's a pretty popular name, but in terms of RTs, there's not many. Wait, I saw a wonderful prank on Reddit where someone put a soap dispenser looking bottle labeled ketchup in the bathroom and it was actually ketchup. Wait, but it was labeled ketchup. Did people use it? See, Kona, that is just cruel. That's like lighting a candle that smells like pie in the morning and letting everyone wake up and think there's pie. Like, there's no pie. Oh, Rod, are you missing them? There's lots of wieners out there you could go find. It was labeled ketchup and people still use it. That's fantastic. Oh my God, that reminds me of I mean, we all know Bam Margera is a very tragic human these days. But I definitely watched all of Jackass, was raised on Viva La Bam. Looking back on it, it's horrific. Yes, we've approached this. I did enjoy it as a child though. And there was one episode, I don't know if it was April Fool's Day, but it was like prank Phil Day. I don't know. They were just prank like usual abusing his parents. But one of them was pretty fucking wild. He took his toothpaste and somehow filled it full of like ground pork. I still don't know. I don't remember how they did this, but Phil knows shit. They had like a secret camera. He wakes up in the morning, puts the ground pork on his toothbrush and he brushes his teeth completely. Like he has no idea that it's ground pork. That was one of the weirdest things I'd ever watched. Like seriously, they had to tell him that they fucked with the toothpaste. What? How do you, what? No pie, that's what I'm saying. It's just cruel. For instance, on March 31st in the middle of the night, I looked at our grocery online list and found over $200 worth of pickles. Okay, that's funny. Imagine if you got $200 worth of pickles. Imagine if one of you, just like, right before you go to sleep, oh shit, I forgot to buy the Amazon cart. I'm just going to do it. You just bought that Amazon cart without looking. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I mean, it's a whole scene of them in the kitchen, like talking about all the pranks they did all day. And, Phil and April are like sad because he just abuses his parents. We've all talked about this now. I'm aware it was not funny. It's not funny, but how to this day, it still haunts me. How did he not know? And Phil never was in on the jokes. Like he's pretty flat affect kind of guy. He just was like, man, it was just weird. I thought it tastes like bacon. What the fuck? Every day, exactly. Like there was don't feed Phil. Ew, there's lipstick on my chapstick from the other day. Yuck. All my makeup brushes are so fucked. I took some really good pictures of the makeup though. I just gotta edit them. I'm dumb before my coffee too, but that dumb? There's bacon toothpaste for humans? Because I've seen that shit for dogs, but for humans? Bacon toothpaste. Why? Ketchup. That's incredible. I mean, people so hard didn't want to be pranked, they literally washed their hands with ketchup. That's incredible. Okay, no shit, but have you tried any of it? I'm genuinely curious. How the fuck do you make any of that taste like bacon? I feel like it's just gonna taste like liquid smoke. It's one of those where they're like, yeah, it's bacon flavored ice cream. They just dripped some liquid smoke in it and called it bacon flavored. Marvis, bacon flavored gum. No, I love bacon, but what? No. Right? Like rage. That's what I'm saying. Like, I mean, I'm sure they squirted in their hand. They're like, it's still got to be soap. It's got to be soap. It's got to be like, how far did they get? No shit. Soda was just rhubarb flavoring. I can't remember what. I don't know about that. I love bacon. Pork products are fantastic. Pigs are mean and I hate them. Like, I'm all about pork, but flavored, like a car. Oh, nah. Nah. Let's just keep to bacon, yeah? Can we just, like, enjoy bacon for what it is? No shit. I think McDonald's actually did come out with that fucking French fry cologne after they made it a joke. I mean, we all love the smell of some French fries, but what? We've gone too far. We've gone too far. Bacon flavored, but I want to, like, if I could afford it, I would buy some and do a taste thing on stream. I want to know if they actually taste like bacon or if it's, cause how? Cause like maybe this is just me, but when I think of bacon, bacon isn't just a flavor. It's like a whole over experience of the texture and the smell and then the flavor and like it's a whole thing. And when you make it soda, you've removed a lot of that thing, and I don't know if it's good anymore. You know what I mean? Yeah, mint toothpaste is my jam too. I don't know. I want to feel clean and not bacony in the morning. I went to this We're So Italian at Hers place near DC, and they only had sodas that were imported from Italy. Ooh, yum. Wait, what was it called? I might have gone there. Dude, no shit. When I was in high school, I worked at a taco time, and almost every day I'd get off work at like 10:30, 11, and then I'd go to my boyfriend's house, my high school boyfriend's house, and sit and watch TV until like 1 in the morning, then I drive home. And he became like addicted to my smell of beans. It was The weirdest compliment to get. Oh man, you smell so tasty. Cause I just smelled like Mexican food, I guess. Beans specifically, like refried beans, apparently. I remember that was very much a comment I would get regularly. Like I smelled like food, which is odd. Um, hold on. Fancy pomegranate soda was so good. Let me see if I can find it. They did Roman style pizza. It sounds familiar. I used to hang out in DC all the time. My sister did before she graduated, she did an internship down in DC. So I used to drive down there every single weekend and spend the weekend with her, and we would go out and do all sorts of shit like that. Like DC is one of the best food cultures in my opinion. There's so much good food in DC. People don't even realize because they stay near the Smithsonian so much. Hot dog flavored. No, didn't we make fun of hot dog flavored water like 20 years ago? No. I don't. Just suck a dick. What's happening? People joke, but the way to a man's heart is often through their stomach. I mean, everybody loves a good smelling food, right? Everybody loves a good smelling food. I ain't gonna hate on it, but I think I'm associated with beans forever, maybe. I live just outside DC and I need good Italian food, dude. There oh god, there's a really good oh fuck. I don't know if it's the same place, but there's an amazing Italian place that is right off of the archive station. I can see like the intersect. I gotta walk it in my head for a minute and find it. I'm such a like I'm really bad at giving directions because I'm very much a landmark person. Like take a left at that statue, take a right at the weird tree. Like it's horrible, so I gotta like walk it in my head. But there's a really good Italian place right off of the archive station. I'm trying to think of. Oh fuck! You've had bops though, right? That's not the one I'm talking about, but you've had bops, right? I mean, so you were not wrong. Low, Katie. What? This morning I learned Brax did hot dog flavored candy corn. What? Okay. To each their own. I mean, I ain't here to judge that your lifestyle, but that just okay. Oh my gosh, David, we're talking about weird flavored foods. So I'm learning all sorts. 7-Eleven is currently making a hot dog flavored seltzer water. I found out there's bacon flavored soda. Like the world is broken. I love bacon, but do we need carbonated bacon? Bops. BOP. It's what is Bob's? Baltimore something pizza. Bop. Bop. Hold on. I only know it as Bops. This is really impressive. Really depressing. Side note, my mom sent me an email for the first time in literally 20 years about the reconstruction of the Key Bridge in Baltimore, and it was bad. Like, is this her trying to reach out? Brick oven pizza. Jesus Christ. Brick oven pizza in Baltimore. It's called Bops. It's fucking delicious. Do not call it East Coast pizza. You won't be served. It's mid Atlantic. Because that's something to be pretentious about. We say wooder for fuck's sake. Okay, but why? That's literally the conversation, David. If you can find a reason. Same. Bacon flavored bubblegum. Why? Like, that's what I was saying. Bacon, I love bacon, but it's like a whole thing. It's not just a flavor. It's like the texture, the way you cook it, the smell before eating it, blah, blah, blah. And I feel like once you take that and you try to make it a carbonated soda, you've removed a lot of the thing that makes bacon great. And I don't know what's the point? What's happening? I don't want that. I don't want to drink bacon, right? My brother's the foodie guy. Anytime I want to impress someone with food in DC, I ask my brother, fuck yes. I never remember good food, but I love to eat good food when I find it. Wait, a tailgate line? Oh, that like of the no. I mean, I don't like candy corn to begin with, so I'm one of those. Is it Staccies? Staccies or whatever? Stacci? That might be the one I'm thinking of, but if you already know it, you've already been there then. There, David, I could not agree harder. Sometimes it feels like people are too preoccupied with whether they could and not concerned enough with if they should. Yes. I don't why. This is how we get dangerous dinosaur islands. Yes, which they're trying to do right now. There is a company trying to like bring back dinosaurs in embryos of eggs. It's very bizarre. I don't know how that's legal. My bro took me to a place in Alexandria that did pizza and had alcoholic root beer. I think I've been so weird. It's such a small area, like comparatively, like living on the West Coast, it takes 7 hours to get across one state, and 5 of those hours you're driving through nothing. Versus on the East Coast, it's like we used to just like accidentally get over into Richmond and get into Virginia all the time, just hanging out in DC. Like you're just flopping across state borders kind of on accident. The only reason I knew I was in Virginia half the time is I was on the other side of the water. Like, and I was like, okay, we're in Virginia now. But I remember a place with hard root beer and it had dank crab cakes. Fuck, it's been too long. I miss the East Coast a lot. I think that's the one I'm thinking of. If it's off of, I just remember it was like very reasonably walking distance from Archive Station, which is usually where I always got off if I was coming from Baltimore on the Green Line. My brother's favorite places are all in Alexandria. Dude, Alexandria has some of the best. I mean, that city is just fun to walk around, in my opinion. It's allegedly one of the most, if not the most haunted city in America. So lots of haunting tours and lots of haunted houses and stuff, which is cool. I like going and seeing that shit. But the food scene is off the shits. Like, I coming from the West Coast where everything has to be like microbrewery, infusion, broken down, whatever, fuck your mom food. It's really nice to just get some like food. Like I don't have to Google anything on the menu in Virginia, and that's nice. Versus like I'm definitely that person in most fancy places in Washington where I have to pull out my phone and be like, the fuck is that? I don't want to do that. I'm so boring. Hard root beer, it's really good. Not Your Mom's root beer. Have you never heard of it? I'm pretty sure. I don't know if there's more companies, but Not Your Mom's root beer was one of the main ones that came out, I don't know, 5, 10, 15, whatever, times irrelevant. But it's actually really tasty. It tastes more like, to me, like real root beer. If you've ever had legitimate root beer, it's got more of an herby kind of shits to it. I don't know how to explain that. It's kind of herby, herbaceous. It's got a really heavy root beer flavor, but I like that. I like the flavor of root beer, so I don't know. What would you call that? Herbaceous. Is that the word? I feel like there's another word for it. I got to think of it. Yes, we're absolutely kissing ghosts. No shit, David. We played. My hair's. I can feel it unbalanced on my head and it's driving me crazy. Um, we played the other day. No shit. We streamed for so much longer than I planned to. Like literally, I remember looking at the clock and it was almost 3. And I was like, we're gonna definitely go for another hour because we haven't even done a banishing. We went for another 2 hours and still didn't banish anything. Like I need to banish someone today or blame. I must. Yeah, I did the heat sink yesterday, but it took all fucking day. And I was telling chat for some reason I had like a mucus plug in my brain. The first half of yesterday, up until like 2 p.m., I was just kind of walking around in this weird fog and I really couldn't function. And then I went and took a really hot shower and managed to blow out just like a softball out of my nose. And suddenly my brain woke up. So didn't have time to do anything else to it, but I did that. Still smells kind of like burning, but she's working. Is my brain gonna have a baby? I hope not. There doesn't need to be more than one of me at all. That was like what it was in Tennessee. It was going up to a mountain suddenly. I'm in Georgia, exactly. That's exactly what it feels like being in Maryland, like in the mid-Atlantic, I guess. Maryland, the Maryland, DC, Virginia. They're all just like these sliver chunks along the water, and you just kind of slide into them on accident like a dick.
Fucking what the fucking fuck? Hold on.
In the burbs of DC,
This fucking. How did you do fucking?
Hi, CJ. Good morning.
Fuck.
Well, it certainly illustrates the diversity.
There's a place called Sweetwater Tavern that also does amazing casual dining. Is it on the water? I think I've seen it, but I don't think I've been there. If it's one of those places that has like waterside seating, man, I've been so many places down there. I just never fucking remember the names of them. I don't know. I remember what I ate. CJ, thank you for the resub. I love you. I did not get bacon scented thermal paste that I'm aware of. Honestly, though, I don't know. Nah, I'd be mad at that. I'd probably get sick of the smell of bacon, right? Like after a certain amount of time, bacon's special because you're not smelling it all the time. But if your life is pervasively smelling like bacon, it's not gonna be cool anymore. Like people would just wonder why you smell like bacon. Confirm, no shit. Like a slip and slide, my dudes. They really are. The states are so small, but it's so fun. I love that. Because the states, even though they're small, they have like really strong personality, you know? Like Marylanders are Marylanders and they have a unique accent and they have like scrapple and shit. And then PA, Pennsylvanians, they are like PA is pretty big, but they hold like really firm to the it's young to anyone outside the US, but to someone from the West Coast, it's really cool because the West Coast is like feudal, basically. And it's fun that you can like, you know, if you're on the West Coast, like Washington, Oregon, California, we're all the same. We're the exact same people. You can drive the entire coast of the west side and you probably won't notice a difference in the humans, other than the vast majority of us will start wearing North Face the norther you get. The more north you get, there's a whole lot of North Face because we're cold. But like, it's the same. We all talk the same. I remember when I moved to Baltimore, people would just introduce me as Katie from California. I am not from California. But like, I guess I kind of talk like this. So whatever, I guess it's Katie from California. I killed that fast, don't worry. The West Coast broke me a little. But yeah, we all sound the same to anyone else. We have no like identifying features on the West Coast at all. We're pretty much a wash, which sucks. It's kind of sad. It's a microcosm and it's great. I love that. I love it. It's the entire Eastern Seaboard. It's just there's so much personality and there's actual history, you know, like the West Coast, we don't really have a lot of that, which is boring. 72-year-old Metal God, I'll save it. I didn't get a chance to go through and like clean up the inner workings of the PC, but I did the heatsink. So the inner workings is tonight. So tomorrow I should. But anything you guys throw, I've just been throwing it into the watch later folder. It's gonna be a mecha day when this thing works. Dude, Knives, seriously do it. Every time I bring someone there, they're always astounded because I don't know what it is. People don't realize that the vast majority of everything you do in DC is going to be free. We're paying for it in our taxes. Like every single Smithsonian is probably the coolest museum you'll ever be in, and they're free. We've all been paying for them our whole lives. If you pay taxes, you're paying for these. So you can just, I mean, I could waste months in DC and not pay for anything but food. It's crazy. The amount, and I love that. I love a nice free day, man. Cheers. Yep, rage. That's a really good way of putting it, actually. They were, and then the advent of cars and travel pretty much deleted that. Exactly. You can drive a couple hours. Like, it's crazy to think that I could live in Baltimore and get on a train, and in a couple hours I could be in Times Square. Get on another train for a couple hours, be in Boston. Versus on the West Coast, drive for 8 hours and still never see a person. Where are the people? Crazy. Dude, so it's, you know what's interesting? I noticed that living on the East Coast, the older generations, like my friends' parents, all had that strong Baltimore accent. Like, I can't even think of an example. Everything kind of sounds like this. We're gonna go to Howard County. And you gotta smile when you say it. You wanna put some water with those flares? Would you like to put some water with your flowers? It's so, but the younger the younger the person was, the less they had an accent. I don't know what that is. I wonder if it's like a rebellion to not sound like your parents or something, or because we're so much more like you're not just subjected to listening to the people you're around all the time. We have the internet and shit, so we're listening to international voices all the time. I don't know what that is, But like my dad kind of has like a southern twang, just being a redneck in Eastern Washingtonsville, because southern twangs don't just come from the South. Big shocker. And I don't have any of that, I don't think. But I definitely picked up a lot of mid-Atlantic while I was there. I don't know why. Not on purpose, but I hear it. I catch myself say shit like coffee or wooder, and I mentally slap myself and hope it doesn't happen again. Because it's weird. I hear it, but I can't control it. It's just part of me now. Oh no shit! Interesting thing about the Smithsonian is 2/3 of the funding comes from the federal government. 2/3. Wow, that's actually astounding. I mean, Chronicle, imagine in this economy. Most people in DFW and Austin don't have a Texas accent. You got to get out of the big cities to find it. And big cities, right? They're so like international, and you're exposed to so many sounds. Don't curse my glorious emptiness with people. You keep that ish over there. 100%. Like, I want my bubble of no people. But, it's I think I've told you guys this, but I can't remember if it was when I was driving. It was one of the cross countries. I've driven across the country and moved a couple times. One of them, I was driving through, I want to say it was Kansas. Nope. Which direction was I going? Fuck. Anyways, I drove for, at least 6 hours without seeing a house or another road. Like, it was just this straight road through nothingness. And then out of nowhere, a baseball diamond and 3 children playing catch. And then another 4 hours of nothingness. Like, where did they come from? Where did they go? Where did they come from, Cotton Eye Joe? I just don't know. It haunts me to this day. Where the fuck did those kids come from? Where are their parents? Do they live underground? Like, we have such stretches of uninhabited land in America. It's pretty fucking amazing when you actually experience it. It's wild. Like, there is not a gas station. It's one of those places where there's a sign eventually that says, for the next 1,000 miles, no petrol, fill up. Very much Field of Dreams. I'm not kidding. I joked about that. And I think about that sometimes. Where did they come from? There was nothing. Not a turnoff. So it wasn't even like I wasn't seeing it. This was a straight shot. Nothing. No people. Where did they come from? Where did those children come from? I don't know. I might have hallucinated it. Really? The Smithsonian has a very small pre-K and kindergarten program for Smithsonian employees, and only... I'm very jealous. I would have done that as a kid. That would have been fucking sick. Small question. Marijuana was legalized in my county yesterday. In my country, excuse me, is it the same in the states where you have to open cannabis clubs to be able to buy marijuana? So in some states, it's so convoluted. So in the United States of America, we have not federally, i.e., like the whole country isn't legal. We have, for some reason, I don't understand why, left it state specific for now. So states can choose to make it medically legal, which I think is similar to what you have. So basically, you have to join a club, have a club card, and then you can go in and get weed whenever you want. But instead, it's like a medical card. Basically, you go tell a doctor you have anxiety, they give you a medical card, and now you can buy weed. It's the same concept. It's like a club card. And then some states take it a step further and they make it recreationally legal, where as long as you're 21 or older, you can go in and buy whatever you want at any time. Most states have like a quantity limit. Like, for instance, in Colorado, per transaction, like, I can only buy an ounce at a time. But like, I could go to the back of the line and come in and buy another ounce, if that makes sense. But I don't need to have a club. Like, my card is just my ID. But it's very state specific. Like, every state that has chosen to legalize marijuana in some way is doing it a little different. So I can only speak to the places I've been in. I got a burp. Does that make sense? How does your like club card work? Like, are there prereqs to get it? Like, do you have to be a certain age, et cetera, et cetera? Just don't ever drop the way you say sauce. I can't. That one I've been made fun of so much for it now that my brain doesn't hear it wrong anymore. That one's stuck. I don't know how to say it the other way. It's the same with iron. Iron. I don't know how to iron. Iron or iron. I don't know. Those ones are broke now. I can't even hear myself say them in a different, like, it's corn children. They are corn children. It might have been Iowa, Kansas. Like, Iowa, Kansas, Denver, honestly, Wyoming, all have just immense portions of land with no human beings. I mean, it's either farmland or nothing. It's nothingness. It's crazy. I discovered that I can get Tim Hortons coffee at my grocery store. Dude, Timmy Hortons is pretty fucking good. I'd take it over Starbucks any day because they don't burn it. That's us too, Kona. Do you know what the amount is, like, at a time? Is it, like, per transaction or I don't even like, and then on top of that, on top of the, like, per transaction, we can actually grow weed as well in Colorado specifically, but it's, like I don't remember the exact, but it's, like, 4 plants per adult person in the house is the amount you're allowed to grow, but you have to grow it indoors or sheltered in some way. And I assume it's because they don't want underage people to like jump in your yard and take the weed and suddenly have drugs, or they don't want cross pollination with like growers around or something like that. But that's basically the only stipulations to it. I have anxiety but don't like the smell or feeling of weed. CBD, dude, that sucks. But I mean, you know me, Nick, I say that a lot. Like, it's not for everybody. I'm never going to be that person that's going to, if only the whole world would smoke pot. What a stupid blanket statement to make. Pot's expensive. I'm not sharing with the whole world. But no shit, it does not feel great for everybody. And some people it can feel great for a really long time and then out of nowhere feel really bad. My stepdad told me that. He smoked pot in a little bit in high school and then in his early 20s and then one day the paranoia hit and he could never smoke again. It was just done for him. I hope to God that never happens to me. That sounds like it sucks. Iron. Seriously, I can't say it anymore. I've tried too hard. Now my brain's broke on it. We can't get our heads around it here in Germany. You guys just legalized, right? It's been legal since yesterday, but you're not allowed to buy anything from dealers. And there's nothing in the clubs because the plants have to grow first. Nobody can see through. That's hilarious. So it's legal to buy, but there's nothing to buy? That's hilarious. But because you guys went from like it being like very illegal to suddenly recreational, right? Like you made that huge jump. So basically no one could be growing in the interim, right? I feel like, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, US people of all over the place, like in anywhere I've lived, it was a gradual, like it usually became decriminalized first, and then it went to medical, and then it went to recreational. So like we already had people growing a shit ton of weed by the time it went recreational. Like I think there was actually a lot of states who had to throw away buckets of moldy weed because they grew too much and it was sitting in warehouses and it molded. Like it was very tragic. I think I might have smoked moldy weed. I don't know. No shit. There are dispos in Michigan where you can do as many transactions, but it's like a certain amount per transaction though, right? Because I think Denver's the same way. Like I could do as many as I wanted, but it's like per card swipe or per receipt, it can only be X amount. I honestly have not been able to enjoy weed too much, but I believe this is due to high as fuck THC content of most legal weed. 1000% I would believe that. Um, I've seen this. I haven't tried it, but I've seen it in my dispensary. They sell bud that is borderline no THC anymore. Like they sell bud that is the full spectrum of THC levels. So for instance, they have bud that is like 5% THC, 5% CBD, up to 30% CB or THC, 0% CBD, and they have that full spectrum. So for instance, I've told you guys that when I want to do a tea break, i.e. taking a break from the pots so I don't like fuck my tolerance, I will go buy bud that's straight CBD because I'm still doing the motions, you know? Like I'm not like cutting myself off from my bong and now I don't know what to do with my hands. Like I'm still going through the motions and shit, but there's no THC in it. It's great, but I highly suggest talking to your bud tender about something like that because they love helping out. And I truly like going from never smoking pot to a 30% THC. Like you would go to Jupiter. Like you wouldn't even remember it. I don't think that's insane. In MA, we're limited to 500 milligrams THC per visit. To oh no shit! So you actually have to calculate the milligrams. Interesting. Oh, Toyota 100. Anything can, right? Yeah. I mean, that's why I think it's so ignorant. When anybody, potheads included, make blanket statements like, everybody just needs to hotbox the White House. We just all need to smoke. Do you realize what marijuana could do to someone who, I don't know, for instance, has undiagnosed dementia and schizophrenia? Fuck no. That's cruel. Cheers, Bobo. I mean, I want to see Jesus too. Like, I want to shake their hand and see what's up. She's got to be hot, right? Morning, C-Town. How are you, love? Good morning, Bolvi. How are you, love? Dude, I was just telling chat. So all day yesterday, this eye especially was just like tearing red. So I had this like red under eye stain, and Zach legitimately asked me if I had an eye infection yesterday. Like, do you even know me? No. It's blood. Get out of here, pretty piano. You're gorgeous, but not right now. Thank you so much. Yeah, untreated BBC. I mean, untreated most things. I wouldn't, like, looking back on it, I think I was self-medicating with marijuana a lot. Like, not in a good way. Like, I don't think weed was doing anything for I have bipolar and OCD and ADHD. I think it was masking a lot of what I was feeling from all that. And if I could go back, I probably would have told myself to, like, get off the weed and figure out what the fuck's going on instead of just, like, smoking myself into a haze that I didn't realize what was going on anymore, because that eventually led to an actual fucking breakdown where I lost 75 pounds and couldn't taste food anymore. That's why I suggest, I highly encourage you to take a tea break every once in a while. It is important to know why you are smoking. Are you smoking because weed is delicious, or are you smoking because maybe there's something you're trying to ignore?
It's all true.
We don't want to be that.
It's real, and you found him.
Beatree, well, there's an I've read something very recently, very specifically involving an undiagnosed, untreated schizophrenic mind and overuse of marijuana along with many other substances. It's something I'm actually really interested in, the concept of how we tend to self-medicate before we go talk to somebody. We as humans, I mean, whether it's with, I'm sure you guys know, like, a lot of people with ADHD drink shit tons of caffeine down a monster before they hit the bed because it actually slows us down. Shit like that. And so you got to think, like, that's got to apply to everything, right? It can't just be caffeine. THC is absolutely a psychoactive, like, it's doing something. And I mean, I don't think it didn't exacerbate anything for me. Honestly, weed was the only way I could eat. It was the only way I could get myself to eat. So it saved me in a way because I couldn't taste food anymore. But I mean, I almost wonder, like, if I wasn't smoking all the time, would I maybe have gone and seen a doctor a little bit earlier and been like, hey, I can't taste food. I keep losing weight. Help me so much. I'm so depressed. Wah, you know? I wonder. I don't know. I mean, that's neither here nor there. I can't change the past. But it's always good to go talk to somebody, you know? Drakus, thank you so much for summoning the class, keeping the class. You haven't given any swings. I fucking appreciate you. Look at that. At least it's not in my lungs. Big gross. Big gross. Did I ever have crazy panic attacks? I never have. Nope. I get crazy panic attacks all on my own. El naturel, if you will. I'm just ashtraying. But I never have. I actually, like, don't do this. I think about doing this when I first started, like, really smoking because it was legal. I started smoking a lot more and kind of looking at the strains and stuff. But I remember I would smoke a bowl and then I would sit and try to make myself anxious. Like, I would test myself. Like, I would immediately be like, what's something that makes me anxious? And think about it and see if I could. And it's honestly like my body was like, not today, bitch. It was amazing. I would just lay there and test it, and it never, like, weed is great for me, but it is not for everybody. Ever. I would never, ever say, like, this is going to work for everybody the way it works for me. Ever, but it definitely was magical for me. Like, but I have had, I don't know how to word that. I have anxiety that doesn't stem from anything. It's like, it just decides to be that way one day. There's not a rhyme or reason. It's just like all of a sudden my body goes into overdrive and is anxious. Whereas I think a lot of people have more tangible triggers in their life that can cause anxiety. That is, like, I mean, maybe still pointless anxiety because it doesn't help the situation at all, but at least there's, like, a root cause. Like, you can look at it like I was in a car accident or, you know, I have to pay for my car or whatever. Like, for me, it's like I woke up and my palms were pooling sweat and now I can't sit still and everything sucks and I have this terrible sense of doom. But I just woke up. Like, nothing special, just consciousness. What up, Rip? How are you, love? I remember smoking and freaking out so bad I took all my weed stuff to my parents' house. I need to be physically away from it. I get that. I've gotten bored with weed before. Like, you finish all the weed you have, and I just was like, I don't think I'm gonna go re-up. I was just bored. I totally have gotten that before. Oh wait, hold on, my shit just jumped. Auditory, no shit. Oh, I would hate that. I don't know what I would do with that. Sometimes I wonder if my internal dialogue is auditory hallucinations or whatever, because I definitely listen. I remember smoking and freaking out so bad that I took all my weed. Yep, I've done that. Yeah, it's organic panic attack. Yeah, chronicle. I mean, I try to search for a cause like that, but oftentimes for me, unfortunately, there is none. I went to the doctor this morning because I started coughing up hard mucus. Oh no. Was convinced was pinkish. What did the doctor say? Was it actually pinkish? Is it foamy? Bitch, do I need to come to Georgia and have a talk with you? Good morning, Molly Love. I hope you're doing well, honey bean. I have the opposite from panic attacks. I sometimes sit and just think of not giving a shit and think of depressing stuff. Dude, I mean, same flavor. It's like a different flavor of the sharts, right? I empathize. I can't even imagine. Mine is like, I imagine it's the same side. It's the other side of the same coin. It's like same sense of just existential dread, but instead of sitting in it, I run in it and splatter it all over the walls and everyone around me. Not healthy. Good old generalized. Isn't it the best? Isn't it the best? The weed made it flare up worse. Yep, and that's you're not alone. Seriously, that happens to a lot of people, and that I feel bad. That sucks. I wish y'all had a good answer for it, like the marijuana. I mean, the marijuana doesn't always work for me either. Like, don't get me wrong, but it's never made me anxious. Thank fuck. I got you, Drake. Shut up. Typing's overrated. I miss having fun with my weed ever since stomach surgery. No matter what I do, it just makes me fall asleep and get tired. Interesting. Edibles, smoking, sativa, indica, no matter the method, I just fall asleep in 2 hours. Weird. And I imagine you've like gone without like eliminated your tolerance, so it's not like you have a high tolerance or anything, right? Not foamy. Okay. So in general, if you are worried about pink sputum, it will be foamy and loose. Watery. If that makes sense. That's when we start going, oh, your heart's being strange. Let's go to the doc. Just in case anyone's wondering, pink. Pink, foamy, loose sputum. Go to the doctor. Go. It's time. Go. My anxiety issues predate my weed use by decades. I do wonder if it made it worse or if that was just getting older and super stressed. THC is in, like, it works the same on everybody's body, right? So THC is a vasodilator. So if all your vessels get really, really big, suddenly there's going to be a rush of blood everywhere, which is oftentimes why, like, I'm sure you've seen me and Viata say, oh, that was a sweaty one. Like, suddenly our pores open. We're just like, oh, shit, because everything vasodilates. So if you already have generalized anxiety and maybe a high level of cortisol free flowing and every vessel in your body dilates, so now that free flowing cortisol is available to every single nerve ending you have. Anxiety. Ooh, I can imagine that can absolutely happen. Versus, I mean, maybe for me, the same thing happens, but because I have a higher metabolism, that actually allows my body to metabolize that cortisol faster and get rid of it so that I don't feel fucking anxious anymore. Bodies are all different. It's so, you can't.
Part of waking up is Satan in your cup.
Beautiful. Drakus, thank you for gifting 5 subs in the chat, you generous fuck. A couple of gamers, keeper of the art. Nyan, Tentacle, Viper, Sniper, and Pixel. Check your all but wizards the highest order. Go forth and be consensual in all the ways because nothing in this world is sexier than pure sober consent. And I fucking appreciate you. Fly forth. Be free. Enjoy your emotes. Yep, and I'm the opposite. Like, I have this unending, it's almost like, I've talked to my chat about this. I get a fear of sitting still. Like, if I stop moving, then everything that is causing this existential dread will all come down at me at once. And I get scared of my chair, and I'll just dance around it. and find any fucking activity I possibly can that involves not sitting. Because if I stop moving, it's gonna hit whatever it is. I feel like I'm literally running from it. It's so weird. It's very weird. Brains suck. They're amazing. I love you, bitch. But like also, you're a cunt. I have no tolerance at all. Yeah, 1 to 2 hits or a 5 milligram edible fucks me up 100%, makes me fall asleep. Maybe I don't know. Have you tried like a super low THC percentage? Like a super low? Cuz maybe because you have a zero tolerance, like no shit. On the conversation we just had, that vasodilation, your heart now is some people get a little lightheaded and a little sweaty, right? So your heart's going to pump a little bit harder. Sometimes your blood pressure can go up. You might literally kind of like, I don't know how to say this, bust your nut in those 2 hours and your body is now tired. Like literally you might just be fucking exhausted because you get so high. But you know how I was saying you can get like at least the dispensary I've been to, you can get bud that's 10%, 7% THC versus the stuff I get's like 30. This I keefed, by the way, in honor of Viata having to get a new keef container. Hot hit. Very, very, very super sweaty. Me, Beatree, I live for it. Seriously, the vast, like the expanse of people here and their different knowledge bases gives me such a weird lady boner. I've been smoking legal THC for at least 2 weeks, and I feel less anxious from when it was typical weed. Can someone explain that, please? I mean, I don't know if this is relatable, Molly, but this is I've explained this before because it's so weird. Moving, like I was talking about it earlier, how weed is only legal in some states in the U.S. and a lot of the middle states it's not legal in. So driving across them with an ounce, theoretically, maybe in your car, is nerve wracking because you can go from one state where you bought that ounce, and we don't there for those that don't live in the states or you've never been here. It's not like you are crossing a legal border where you have to stop or anything. You can cross state borders on accident. You're just kind of driving and suddenly you're in another state. So like there could be a dispensary on one side of a line and you buy your ounce and you just trip over it and now it's a felony. You could get arrested and put in jail. It's crazy. But like it's similar to having sex with someone who doesn't have a vasectomy. You can use every form of birth control known to man, but no matter what, in the back of your head, there's this little tiny like, what if none of it worked and you're pregnant until you get your period and you're like, yay, period. Why am I excited about this? Similar with the weed. Like, if you're living in a not legal state, it's like everybody smokes. We're all smoking. It's so easy to get weed. But there's this little tiny anxiety voice in the back of my head all the time that's like, what if I'm caught? What happened? Like, if I was caught, my medical license is going to be pulled, shunned from the medical community, maybe go to jail, huge fines. Like, no shit. If you had an ounce of marijuana in your house, this might still be the thing in Maryland. I'm not up on the laws anymore. But when I lived there, an ounce of weed and a firearm, a legal firearm in your house, immediately makes you a kingpin, which is like 30 years in prison. And the person I was dating at the time had a legal firearm they used for hobby purposes, and I smoked pot. And that is always there, even though the likelihood of anything happening, like, why would police officers waste their time on me? I don't know. Like, maybe, like, cops suck. But, like, there's always that little bit there versus moving to a state where suddenly, like, I can talk about weed, I can smoke weed, I can show you my weed, but all I did was, like, drive across an invisible line and I'm not gonna go to jail for this now. Like, it's so weird. It's like not being able to talk about Pokemon cards for fear of jail time, and suddenly I can talk about Pokemon cards with my friends. Like, that's what it feels like. So I wonder if maybe that little violin of like, it's illegal and you can get your life fucked up for that herb you be smoking to calm down is always pervasive there, even if we would, like, and it's got to do something. It's just, you can't help it. Because it's life ruining. I mean, it's the stupidest thing to be life ruining, for fuck's sake. People get less prison time for having child porn in their house, for fuck's sake. It's crazy. It's crazy. I heard, Mike, which is awesome and crazy. Because, like, I mean, 15 years ago, it was like hard time to have a nug on you, man. Life ruined. Cheers. Exactly, C-Town, yeah, like, and there's studies like that, in terms of ADHD and how they actually think, like, ADHD might be more of a primitive brain, like, I might be less evolved or whatever. To have this ADHD kinda mindset would have been super advantageous back in the day because I would have been the perfect night shift guard. Because I can sit there, every fucking little stimuli, every noise, whatever, it just feeds the system of chaos that is my brain, and I love it, versus, like, calm, relaxed, safe environment is kinda where I start to go nuts on the inside. And I feel like that would work for a lot of people. Like, it's not just me, it's anybody who has, different brains, right? We've just created a world where for some reason we're all like, "Nah, we only want one kind now. One brain. The rest of you can all fuck yourselves." Hi, Kills. How are you, love? Right, Cocky? Yeah. I mean, it's ridiculous. For what? Most THC molecules are generated by exciting THCA molecules through the I hate this word. Decarboxylation. I can say it better if I just don't look at it. It's so weird. Decarboxylation. Decarboxylation process, normally heat. Another fun cannabinoid to look into might be THCV. I think I've read something about that. There's another one. If it's not THCV, there's another one they've been studying, actually. Oh, man. I think Sinimo has told me about it the other day. My dogs got groomed. Look at that cute boy. Music, they think it's real. I mean, big psychologists think that's absolutely legitimate. Why wouldn't it be? Why wouldn't it? My sweet boy, is it break time? And then we banish some ghosts with our palms. Power of the palm. Come here, Bubba. You're so beautiful. Look at that handsome boy. Oh, look at your little beaver tail. How are you, bub? He is the goodest boy. There's my girl. Hello, Miss Ma'am. How are you today? I see you. Your little floof beaver tail. You guys are so pretty. You're such a beautiful boy. Thank you. Good thing I use natural sunscreen, right? I don't know what that would do to you. You're so pretty. They're so handsome. All groomed. Does anybody else's dogs do this? If you have a type of dog that you have to get groomed, i.e. something that has hair like a poodle, their hair will never stop growing. We have to groom them. I find when they come back, they are so fucking cuddly because this is my theory. He wants the house smell back on him. So he nuzzles. He does this like shoving like a cat, like rubbing his body on me like I'm a dead fish. And in anything in the house, like if I drop a sweatshirt, they have to nest in it for a minute. But it's only for the few days after they get groomed. And I think they want, right? Okay, they're not the only ones. They want that was my theory because they're always snuggly. I mean, you guys know that my dogs don't lick my armpit. That is weird. But there's deodorant in there. I don't want you to die from the aluminum. They're always snuggly, but they get really like, like, oh, I must like coat myself in you. And I was like, it's gotta be that they just, because they definitely have that groomer shampoo smell. I'm sure. Whatever that is. It's just the groomer shit. They probably put smellies on them. It's not bad, but it doesn't smell like our house. Like, whatever our house smells like, I don't know. Weed, probably. Yes, exactly. They don't like the smell of, like, the strangers. So they do this, and they just, like... I mean, this morning, Bill was rubbing on me like I was a dead fish. That's all I could think of. I was like, okay. Look at the bandanas. They always rip them off. But they're so cute while they're there. You're so cute. Look at you pretty. Don't bat me, motherfucker. You're adorable. They're the cutest. I mean, no shit. I say dead fish because I had a dog growing up when we lived on Lake Roosevelt, the Columbia River. And we lived right on the lake. Like, I don't know if it's all bodies of water or whatever, but in Washington State, there's this line. I can't remember what it's called, but there's a line where no matter where the water level is at any given time, that line on is state land no matter what. So nobody can own the beaches, basically. So anybody using the river can park at any beach at any given time, rest, get gas, whatever. You can't own the beaches. But we lived right up. Like, our house was on that fucking line. So our dogs would go down to the beach by themselves and just hang out with strangers. And sometimes my big yellow lab would come back up to the house, and he was like this big tank of a creature, and he just had that big dumb face. You'd be like, oh my God, Tanner, come here, bud. And you'd go to pet him, and you'd suddenly realize that that's not the texture of dog fur. Why am I oily? And it was just like dead fish. Just all up in him. And he was just like, I smell so pretty, mama. Oh. Inevitably, it was like someone caught a walleye and it got away, but it was dead, had like a hook in its mouth, and they wash up on the beach and get all bloated and disgusting. And my dogs are like, oh my God, ooh, dude, toilet parfum. And then they come up to the house and want to share it. Rotten fucking walleye. Do I smell like rotten fish? Do you want to talk about it? I feel like this music fits you perfectly. Your melancholy, whatever. You know what? Trick does a thing. Anytime he drinks water, he has to come lick me. Like, he'll just do it under my desk. He has to lick a part of my skin. I don't know what it is. And he comes over with a soaking wet mouth. If I'm wearing shorts, straight up my leg, like up my shin, I'll just feel wet. And I think it's because he wants not that taste in his mouth. I don't know. It's so weird. Infinite Minds Taco, how are you? Good morning. Time zone, whatever.
Now, I'm going to fuck you with Satan's cock.
The children's ears. You know, cock. You're a filth. You're a whore. My mic does not want you to be visible. You're so pretty, though. Look at a baby. Oh, she's no shit, Infinite. We've since she was a puppy, we've agreed she has haunted Victorian child human eyes. And she will oftentimes sit directly behind my stream and stare right into the camera. I swear to God, she knows where you are. I don't know how until I notice her. And eventually I'll turn around and be like, oh shit. And she's just. Being ignored isn't as bad as the tuberculosis, mother. It's haunting. You're beautiful, but you look like a haunted Victorian child. Cunt Run, thank you so much for subbing to the class, keeping the class alive, and giving any swings. I fucking appreciate you. Thank you, boo. Oh, Tree. I had a pug that passed away a few years ago, and I still haven't been able to look at her ashes. You're braver than I am. Yep, the goosing. Oh, they goose me all the time. They herd me down a hall if I don't walk fast enough. I'm landlocked, but there are fishing ponds in the local park, and our dog found a discarded fish once. Uh-huh. Did they, coat themselves in it? It's great. That's where Eastern Washington, where I grew up, it's landlocked. I mean, you're in the middle of nowhere. There's no ocean or anything. It's just lake water. And as far as I can remember, the only kind of fish that was ever in there was trout and walleye. We had sturgeon, but I think it's illegal to catch them. I don't think you're allowed to keep sturgeon in Lake Roosevelt or Columbia River. Correct me if I'm wrong. Something about them, though. They're like dinosaur fish. I mean, they're crazy. If you've ever seen a plecostomus, imagine that, but like 7, 8 feet long. That's what lives in there. And they're armored. They're creepy. I wouldn't want to eat one anyways. Oh, Tree. I've gotten to the point. I mean, it's so crazy. I'm sure you understand because you have the ash. You get it. I have pictures. People like Millie, my pug, was like beloved. My community loved her as much as I did. And when she passed away, people commissioned so much amazing art of her, like her dressed as a queen, in so many different variations because she was our queen moose of all things. And I'm finally at the point where I can look at them on the walls without just bawling, but they're everywhere. Like, I'm sure if a stranger came into my house, they'd wonder where the fuck the pug is. They'd be like, so you have 2 poodles, your walls are covered in pugs. Where's the pug? Like, there's nothing poodle. Just pug. But I had her for 13 years, man. You guys just turned 4. You're a baby. Hi, bud. You're so pretty. You're such a pretty boy. Bill, what? This is a PG-13 stream, ma'am. Can you take your aggression elsewhere? Dude, for real, I don't know. I mean, I've been trying to mess with my algorithm, but sometimes it gets into this area where I don't even recognize the music anymore. Carl Perkins? Oh my God, this is an old one. I know where this came from. Hold on, I got you. Sir. Thank you. Shall we wake up a little? We'll take a break and then we can banish some souls or whatever. No, we're blaming them. I keep forgetting the verbiage. It's blame. Blame the living. We're going evil. The other bad smell is fox poop. Dude, I've never had the only place I've lived where I've known foxes were prolific was in Baltimore, and our dogs weren't allowed to go out without us. I don't think they ever rolled in a fox poop, but I know we had them. I saw foxes and I heard them. I.e., it sounded like children were dying in the woods sometimes. Fox. What? Nightmares. Nightmares. I mean, they're really cool, but no shit. When they yelp in the woods, they do it at 3 a.m. and it absolutely sounds like a small child. You will start convincing yourself you hear words. It's a fox. It's so unnerving. Like every nerve in your body says, go find the child in the woods, until a local's like, that's a fox. It's, I think they're just, no, it sounds like they're yelling. I don't know. Go look up fox noise. It's horrible. It's really bad. That's all I could say. Uh, yeah. This is better. What does the fox say? The Baltimore foxes don't sound like they're laughing. I wish. No, I don't. No, that's weirder. I don't know if I want that. Ours sounded like they were screaming babies or children. That's what the ones in Baltimore sound like too. Maybe it's a different kind. Are there different? There's different species of fox, right? How do you know if a squirrel is pregnant? Does it have to do with nuts? I don't know. Oh, no shit. How do you know if a squirrel is pregnant for real? So, as is with all mammals, I would seriously assume bloated belly and very expressed nipples. Also, the lack of male genitalia is a good hinter. But yeah, like cats and shit like that and dogs, all of them, they tend to get like big ol' swollen nip nops and their belly gets all swolled. Seriously. Other than that, I don't like that. That'd be about it. I believe so. No shit. I worked with a girl at Hopkins whose mom like rescued squirrels. It's so fucking weird that I know a few things. But one thing that she told me was when a squirrel is pregnant, they suddenly want nothing to do with any other squirrel ever, or most people. Like they get really, really territorial and they start to make a hardcore nest. They kind of do like a major overhaul. If they already have a nest, they'll do a major overhaul of it and start like blocking up the doors of their nest or whatever. So if it looks like she's nesting in her bird feeder or something like that, and getting a really big, that like swole belly with their nipples will be like obvious. Whereas like I don't think you could see a squirrel's nipples otherwise. I've seen my squirrels in my yard pregnant. Obviously, they're huge. I mean, they get so big. I thought it was a joke. I'm so sorry. uh, they emptied the entire bird feeder. I wonder if they're gonna nest in it. Or they literally, if they're emptying the bird feeder, they might be stocking all that food up somewhere. Like, there's no way they could eat it all in a day, but they might be taking it somewhere. It sounds like the start of a joke. No shit. I thought it was gonna have to do with nuts. We should make a joke now. All right, quick break. I'm gonna go pee my dogs really quick. Stretch your dicks. Load a bowl. We're gonna. So if you're unaware, we're playing Banishers, where we're going the quote unquote evil-ish route, i.e., kind of like sucking the souls of the living to bring back our dead girlfriends so we can get some sick pussy. Hopefully. I don't know how it's gonna go. I'll be right back. Went outside with the dogs and the cold made me need to pee like emergently, and I went pee and I heard Zach. It's his 10-year anniversary and his chat just started off immediately being mean to him. And man, you guys know me. I just fucking can't with that. I had to go in there and throw some law down really quick and just be a little scary. You guys are so nice. I mean, we toy with each other, but Jesus Christ. Some people are just mean. My headphone got stuck. Sorry. What? Zeke mom wants babies? I don't know what to do about that. That ain't gonna be from this house. My mom would probably love that too. I don't know though. She does the whole like, if you're gonna be a bad mom, so maybe not. But no, what? That ain't happening here. The yeah yeah yeahs. Hold on. I don't know that song. I'll put it on while I load up the fucking game. Heads will roll. I probably know the song honestly. Yeah yeah yeahs were literally I typed in heads and it's the first thing that popped up on Spotify. They were oh fuck. No shit. Yeah, of course I know this song. The Yeah Yeah Yeahs were huge when I like call it when I was what was it like 2010s ish. The expectations, dude. Right? I know. I listened to a lot of psychologist podcasts and shit like that are like not just boring facts, but they are really educated people just talking about stuff that's being like news in the psychology world or whatever. And one thing they stated recently that's become almost de facto, like they're pretty positive. It's almost like for sure is the success of your child in their life in general is directly proportionate to the level of happiness and fulfillment that their mother feels in early development. And like from what I hear, raising a child is hell. I don't know how that's even possible. I don't know. Yeah, I know this fucking song, dude. This song was used in like every movie forever. I've seen I've seen like squirrel proof bird feeders and shit. We got one and the squirrels no shit tore it in half. Squirrels are the devil. It just sounds impossible. No human feels human while raising a newborn. Like you don't sleep. You're basically just a milk machine. I mean, speaking from the milk side, but I mean, this is what I hear from parents around the world. Like, for the most part, a newborn is hell. There's no way you're like sitting back being like, wow, I'm feeling so satisfied right now as this thing chews my nipple off. What up, Revolticon? How are you? Dude, we're just about to jump into the game. And honestly, like, seriously, we played for like 3 hours the other day and did not get to banish one person. So I have no updates. Where the fuck? I want to change my category. There it is. I have no game updates. I tried. This part is hard. Newborns are great. Woo! Right? I mean, kids are amazing. I'm not in any way throwing shade. We need children. They're great. But I know a lot of people my age and older. I know a lot of moms and dads and their experiences overall with a newborn. It's like, this is the most precious thing in my life and I will die for it, but I feel like I'm dying for it. I mean, you gotta love it to do that, right? I mean, I think that's why we're born with that, like, that's my spawn and I love it so much, even though it's so dumb and I gotta teach it how to be a human. We would have to feel like that. Otherwise, we'd be like, God, that thing is needy. Nuh-uh, Music Man, stop. You know what's crazy? The squirrels in my yard drive me nuts because my dogs want to kill them and my dogs go crazy. But I truly think I would be a squirrel if I was an animal. That like just twitchy, nervous, psychotic energy that's kind of annoying. Yeah, you're just kind of newborns are precious when they're someone else's. Agreed. If you ever, this sounds creepy. Obviously, don't do this without consent and knowing the parent and the baby, but like, this is coming from someone who has never had a baby, and I was a younger sibling. Like, I was the second youngest of 8. Baby heads smell incredible. I didn't want you to pause music. You still have like 10 seconds. There, you have to at least finish the song. God. The smell of a baby head. Like, what is that? Why do baby heads smell so good? I don't know. It's almost like, what is that? What is that? I don't know. Dude, right? What is that? It doesn't make me want to have a baby. So it leads me to think it's not like a maternal thing. It doesn't make me think like, oh, I need to have babies. I'm just like, I'm gonna huff your baby off. Like all the hair off its head. I don't know, baby skulls. It's just their head. It's just the top of their head for some reason just smells like I don't know. I don't know. Oh, no Stream Deck. That's something I really want to fix. I can't get it to uninstall. It's so weird. They're both just like, I don't hear anything. I don't know what's happening. I can't help you. Like, what is it? He's huffing by puffing his cheeks out. What are you about? What is it? I'm here for you. I'll change it. You were just really intense right now. They're acting like someone's in our backyard. That's what they're acting like. Yeah, it's weird. Jingling keys is another one. Yeah, they hate that one. And I imagine, I mean, I get it. It's probably like shrill. She's doing her shame. I mean, I don't get it. You're okay, but like, what's up? What the fuck happened? I don't know. Oh, you farted. You fear farted at me. That's good. That's pleasant. You smell like shit. Are you okay? That was some intense barking, bud. I just don't understand. Like, there's nothing out there. Is it ghosts? He sees the dead. It was a fart distraction. A blizzard warning? I would believe it. Honestly, it's been getting really cold here. I think we're gonna get hit with something too. I know, they got groomed. Isn't he cute? He looks so poodly. I hear nothing. I don't know, Bubba. Why were you barking? That was fear barking, though. What was up? I hear nothing. There's nothing going on. My poor little void boy. Oh, I know. Your breath, though. I know, they're little, I don't know why it reminds me of a little beaver tail. Now it's down. You're sad. What was it out there? What happened? We're all here for you. We're here for emotional support, bud. But you gotta explain. Use your big boy words. Oh, big boy farts. Holy crap. That's quite the range. 8 to 27 inches, just somewhere in there. I mean, it might be fear shitting. Are you fear farting? Was that just a little bit of a fear farfignugan? When you bark in my mic, bud, it's so loud. And then dogs all over the world think that the world is ending. Not to mention all the cats laughing at you. Do you know how many cats are laughing at you? All of them. So if you could show me what it is, we would do this for you. We would eliminate it, because we're team players. You're too cute not to be on your team. But when you just fear bark and stare at nothing, I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. I can't see the ghost. Don't eat my earbud. See, Kevin is currently cackling. You're being cackled at. It's happening. Dogs are empathizing in confused fluster. Cats are giggling at you, wondering why you're so special. You're so cute. But we are all very confused. I love you. You're a very good boy. You have very pretty eyes. He really is very cuddly. I mean, I wish I knew what he was afraid of. He was definitely, that like weird pointing in the same direction, and you guys know if you've had a dog. They have different barks. That was fear bark. That was like danger, someone's in the yard and we don't know who it is bark. But I'm pretty sure. So that's Zach. You know who that is. You can't bark at that noise. Bud. Are you hiding? Just tell me what's up. I just don't want you to bark at my mic, especially when we're about to maybe do something in a game. I don't know, not run in circles. Sweet boy. You're very sweet. You're just kind of a dick. I mean, maybe not even a dick. Just a little dumb. You're second smartest breed. Like, you're really smart. But you're 4. Like, figure it out. That was a precious little big yawn, bud. Good God, that was cute. He is. He always has sad eyes. Like, no matter what, he looks at me with these eyes like, you could do better. Are you just shitting at me? You smell like farts, bud. You're very farty. You're smelling of a wide-backed vagina. Don't eat my earbud. You're very cute. Don't eat my earbud. It's weird. Stop it. Do we need to go outside? Do you need to take a shit? A fear shit real quick? And then maybe we can play our game and not be barked at? I don't know. I don't know how else to help you, but I don't like leaving you looking like that. Yeah? You need to take a dump? Drop the kids off at the pool? Log the woods, if you will? Yeah. You want to go outside? Okay. Go outside. Get out of here. All right. I'll go see if he needs to take a fear shit or something. Sorry about the interruption, but man, they're really loud in the mic and truly fucking scared of something. So I'm just gonna take them out and figure out what it is really quick. Load your bongs, get some water. You know, the huge. We shall return shortly. Burbsies. Welcome back. If you're wondering, that was Immigrant Song by Sandra Oh and Trent Reznor. Great cover. Not better. Nothing can be better. But it's a good cover. Pause, bitch. We have places to go. Oh, no, Stream Deck. That's something that's happening hopefully tonight. Do you need to go outside and make a dump? Perhaps? Are you prairie dogging? Oh, right in the face. Hi, bud. You're very cute. Nope. You lick butts. And faces. You're so cute, though. Look at your little beaver tail. You're so cute. You always look sad. I hope you're not always sad. Are you super cute? I could fit my face in there, bud. That's alarming. Thank you for loving me and not wanting to eat me. But if I die, you have the right. Don't starve. Eat me, okay? That's fine. Yep. Easily, right? Yeah. You could get a whole ham in there. That is a chomper. That reminds me of like Beetlejuice face. You got a purty mouth on you, bud. Those cheeks are such a... Wanna go outside? Take a break. Let's go outside. You wanna go outside? Yeah, okay. Oh, okay. Quick break, my dude. Stand up and stretch your legs. Get some whatever. Please tip your waitress. Also, those singing. No free performances. You know how it is. Get those. Fuck. I know, Zag, that was after... Not this last essence that we gave Our Lady Love, but the essence before this. She... Like, it was such a quick moment, and it wasn't even... Nothing was said, but we got in a boat together. And, Antea, like, looks over the edge of the water into the water and sees the shadow of her head for the first time. Before that, she did not have a shadow. I'm pretty positive. Chat was pretty positive as well. So that was the first moment. It took like a few a few feedings. Essence feedings? Essence sucklings, whatever the fuck you want to call them. It took a few to get to that point, but like, she's got a shadow and she's looking more and more solid, but she can still disappear and stuff, like completely. And we still kind of, I guess she's inside of me. I still don't understand that, but it's there. He is. He's such a good. You're such a good boy. But Antea also could absolutely not be Antea. It might be a witch. Like, what if I'm just like being the vehicle for a witch to get somewhere that she shouldn't be? I don't know. What is it, bud? Do you know? You're so cute. Hi, Bubba. Is it time? I know. I went late. I'm sorry. It's okay. I can get you extra treats this way. Right? Show everyone how handsome you are. Look at that. Look at that, Punim. Look at that, Punim. You're so cute. Rumor day. It's your worst day ever, but you look, ow, so cute. You're just so cute. Got a perfect nose. Did you know? Sometimes he just does these little blips and these mini yawns at me, and I don't know. It's like really cute. She's still inside of me, said the first person to be pet. Oh. I can't imagine. I've seen so many buttholes get torn open by just poop, but I imagine people that are into the butt stuff definitely like get down with the safety of the butt stuff and the education so that you're not like ripping your butt open. Yeah. I'm going to assume that because any other way of living makes me super fucking nervous and I don't want to think about that. I have to assume people are being safe because it's, you know. I know. I mean, I don't have a favorite. I love both my dogs for different reasons. They're both so wonderful. Like Lilith is the most cuddly. Like she will always curl up with you on a couch and she's totally fine just snuggling up and sitting there for the next 10 hours. Like she's the best. Whereas Trick wants to go play and stuff. They're good for different reasons. But he's best boy. She's a woman. She's like super pretty and therefore is kind of a bitch. And you're just cute as fuck. You're kind of like, but that's okay. You got no thoughts, only love going on up there, yeah? Right, and that's what I'm saying. Millie, my girl, my pug, never really cuddly. Like she needed to be in the room with me. She needed to be able to see me at all times, but she wasn't one to insist on cuddling. Like Bill, she wants to squirrel up next to you and lay on you if she can, but at all costs, she wants to snuggle. Like it's her favorite thing in the whole world, and he's a lot more active. So they're great in different ways. Bill is unfortunately very picky about people for some reason. Loves Rodney. For some reason, Nate's not so much. I don't know. Whereas Trick loves everybody, but because Trick loves everybody, like I would never like feel safe having the top down my Jeep on my Jeep or something with them in it. Like I think he might jump out to try to go be friends with someone in traffic. Whereas Bill wouldn't do that. So, there's like they've both got their perks. They both got very individual your personalities are different and it's weird. It's very weird. But you're very cute. I have to cheers for 420 now, okay? And then we'll go on our KLAW. KLAW, the best place to go out and put that cool thing on your neck so you can't run in traffic. Yeah. You're lucky you're cute. You take up a lot of my stream time when I'm hanging out with my buddies. I swear to God, he looks at me like this all the time. He'll just stand in a room and stare at me sometimes at night. And I'm like, bitch, though, are you sad, though? Are you sad? Are you sad? I don't know. I don't think so. Well, you got sad puppy dog eyes all the time. I just don't know what to do about it. You look happy, but your eyes never change. They're always kind of just like a cartoon. You're a cartoon character who hides behind my mic that sags on you. Look at that face. You're quite sweet. You look like you have such a perfect mullet right now. Like the shave and the. Oh, yes. Bitch. Bitch. Work it. Strike a pose. Strike a pose. I get nothing here. I'm telling you. Nothing. Cheers, motherfuckers. I'm gonna have to post cheers you because I think if I get him off my lap, he's just gonna expect me to go. So let me hold on. I'm gonna find someone cool to raid, and then I have to go and get my dogs into the atmosphere. But thank you for joining me for Banishers. Tonight is the night where I wipe my computer, so if you could burn an effigy, I don't know, smack a bitch, whatever the fuck, wick a tree, walk a dog, love a dog. That's probably the karma I need. I need dog karma. So we're gonna wipe this shit and hopefully be fresh and new and so fresh and so clean. Be able to just like listen to music together. Oh, can you imagine, bud? In this economy, I don't even know. I know. I have faith. Like I've got everything's already off of it, so it's not like I can lose anything. But the last time I tried to do this to my computer, I think I tweeted about it and I told you guys about it, but never in my life had this happened before. I tried to do a fresh install and it failed. That's never happened to me before in my life. So I'm just really praying that doesn't happen again because it took like 6 hours for it to tell me that happened. And yeah. So if that happens again, I mean, I'll probably be. I've Discord on my phone. It wasn't working for a while because it was trying to do two-factor and get me to two-factor it on my computer, of which it is not on because it can't handle it. So, but that's fixed now. So I don't know. It's just, I mean, have you know how I bitch about in movies how they like they'll put paddles on a dead heart? I feel like I'm doing that to a computer right now. Like the computer's looking at me like, this isn't doing anything, right? Like this is ineffective, right? And I'm just like, come on, Susan, the dunk. And it's just, but we're gonna keep going because I don't know what else to do. I'm gonna read Zach because it's literally his 10-year anniversary, streaming 10 years. I don't know if it's streaming or partnered. I think it might be partnered. I don't know. It's fucking crazy. That's a really long time to just like self-employ yourself by making people laugh on the internet. Incredible. But I'm gonna make a snack and then take these guys into nature. So be good and take your fucking joy. I will post cheers you. Don't worry. Clean your water bottles. You nasty. It's mouth bacteria breeding in that dark, perfect little moist environment, just turning into a fungal fuck fest. Fern Gully lives in your water bottle. Take care of it. Tomorrow is whatever day. I don't know. I'll be here bright and early. Bring some coffee. We'll hang out. It'll be great. We'll sauce ourselves. We'll be seasoned. We love you. Bye. You are so cute. You really are.